time to show off a new build. Meanwhile, I'm grabbing something. I probably should have just started this a little bit later, but that's what you get when you're not prepared. All right, so we have a new classic 24 build. This one is in a nice baby blue teal-esque. It's more baby blue dial. And I just kept it nice and clean. Did a brushed 350 case with a brushed clean bezel on it. Since the dial itself isn't quite busy, but it has everything it needs on there. Did a set of silver Moldova hands. And then I put this on a super, super nice Milanese band. I'm trying to get more of these. I bought one of these to see if I like it, and now I can't get them. So I'm gonna work on that. I have other Milanese bands. They come together just slightly different. So this one does the latch over the bar to get that initial like hook. I say that as I'm looking through the camera instead of looking on here. So get your initial hook on there, and then that clips down. So brushed in BVW milled caseback. So just a super, super clean watch with a nice pop of color there for you. So automatic mechanical, there's a rotor in the back, so as you're moving, it's moving and keeping the time. But before you put it on, before you set the time, wind it just a little bit to make sure you do not lose time. And how you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. You'll feel a little bit of play there. You know you're not on that crown tube. It's not a structure. You know, you'll feel a little bit of play. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn clockwise as you're looking at it from the side or away from you. Counterclockwise does not wind it. It does click it. And I often just go back and forth. So I'm winding, not winding, winding, not winding. And why I do that is if I start to put it back on the crown tube, I can kind of already have my setup to go back. If you're doing this, I don't know, I just wind quicker this way. You can wind it however you want. 4 or 5 seconds of that mixed with the rotor movement will keep your time throughout the day. And if you do it for another 4 or 5 seconds, you will max out your 31-hour plus power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. It's got a slipping mainspring, so once it has what it needs, it's just diverting. And then when you're happy with your wind, you're going to pull it to the one and only click, and you can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so that seconds hand is going to keep on going. And you'll also notice you got a little bit of play in that head. This is called a wobble crown, and it deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement, so don't worry. Alexa, what time is it? 12:37 p.m. Push it over, get it out of that time setting, and then wind it down. Now, on the band, you have your quick disconnects here, your little levers that you push this way. You can take these off. This right here you adjust, okay? It basically has teeth. See this part that's sloped down? It's grabbed into this really tight, okay? And it's not going to move. So in order to move it, let's say you put it on, you're like, oh man, it's way too tight, or that's not tight enough. You want to loosen it up some. All you do is you use a flathead. Now I have watch precision, so mine's a little thin. So for me, it is a little bit harder. But if you have something a little bit thicker, you just bend that back up, right? So you can see it's not grabbed on there anymore. Actually, it's still a little bit grabbed on there, isn't it? There you go. You just lift it up. Now it slides. Okay, so if you're like, oh, well, obviously you'd want to kind of not move it all around and then try and figure it out again. You'd be like, all right, I was just right here. I needed a little bit down. Just hold it against that. Flip this back, and now this is where you're going to have to get a little pressure. You actually force this back down, and it clicks. Once it clicks, it's locked. It's not going anywhere, okay? When you put this back on, this part right here, that loops over this bar that's hanging here, okay? So that's where that goes. Then this part clips into that. Well, I pushed it up. I'm looking at my camera instead of looking at what I'm doing. Now you're locked on. Okay, to get it, you just basically are peeling it back off. That's all it is. So whenever you need to move it, use a little flathead, open that all the way up, then shift it wherever you need it to go. Force it back down with your hand. It will click nice and hard, and then it's not going to go anywhere. That's now where that's set. Okay, so pretty easy to move it. You can make it pretty tight if you want it to be tight. So that is the build. As with every build, you're going to get complementary beads. They both complement the watch, and it's both, and it's me giving them to you, kind of as a cool gift. So complements in both ways. It's going to come in a BVW slider box with an Atlas pillow inside. It's going to come with a few things: watch cleaner to keep all glass and metal nice and clean, which is this whole watch. So this is good for the whole watch, as well as a microfiber. You're also going to get some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's for your domed acrylic glass. You can scratch it. If you do, you'll put a tiny bit of that on it. You'll buff it out with your additional microfiber. Generate some heat with your thumb and basically polish it out. If you scratch the case, use the green side of a Scotch-Brite and just do single passes in that direction, rounded passes. Don't go back and forth. You'll get a nice hard line instead of a rounded line. If you scratch the bezel, that's a little bit harder to do. So if you want to attempt it, if you would scratch the bezel, what you have to do is you have to pop the bezel off. So something nice and flat. You might put a piece of like painter's tape here, get under it. It will pop right off. Then the green side of the Scotch-Brite, just lay it down, grab the back of this and spin it into it. Don't move it. Keep it in the same spot and you'll just put those lines back in. So you'll brush the line in. Then you will angle it on, pull it, and snap it down. You'll know what I'm saying if you ever pull it off. It is a tension ring clip that holds on there, and what I do is the biggest, flattest part of it that makes the most contact, I lip that under the ring and then work the rest around, kind of like a push down and a little bit of a twist. So try not to do that, but if you do, you can fix that. If you try and do it on the case, you could. I guess you could if you want to try it that way. I just know it's really simple if you have the bezel off to just spin it on that. So that's the build. If it's going to you, it looks awesome, and congrats. It'll be available in tonight's event at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, because I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.